Hello, Pioneers. I hope you're well. My name is Bed, and this is the Satisfactory Plus mod for the game Satisfactory. On the last episode, we made this purified cobalt, and we did some purified deuterium, and we did some purified nickel. And yeah, we've got everything we need right here in our inventory to unlock the next milestone that we've been working towards. But first things first, we put a hard drive in here between episodes to see if we had any alt recipes available. And we do. Turbo fuel. Oh, interesting. We just add black powder to fuel. I love it. That's going to be kind of cool. Well, there's only one choice, so we don't have any other ones to unlock, so I'm not going to put a hard drive in. And we're also ready to launch the Advanced Alloys milestone. So let's do that. So now we've got Invar. We can make molten Invar by using molten nickel, mixing it with crushed iron, and oxyhydrogen, which we've talked about kind of recently. Really very cool. But I'm kind of torn. I do want to get into Invar, but I also want to get the train network going in the Mega Base. Speaking of the Mega Base, I had talked about names before. 2 episodes ago, I said I didn't love calling it just the Mega Base, and I kind of wanted to name it. I was talking about Tetra plant, Peta plant, stuff like that. And I got some comments with some suggestions, like this one that suggests calling it the Terra Flower. That's kind of perfect because of the shape of it. And this one that says that they like the idea of a Peta plant, which has a few different Terra factories, which is pretty great as well. And then there was this comment from the commenter who suggested I add the Faxit network to the train pillar blueprints, and I did that, and they said I did do it the way that they thought I should, and that they had a suggestion for the name of the factory, which is called a Tetra factory. So it's kind of like Terra, kind of like Tetra for the 4 branches, and I gotta tell you, that really spoke to me. Although I don't want to call it a Tetra factory, I just want to call the entire complex Tetra. I think that is slick. And we'll all know that it's a nod to both being a Terra factory and the flower. So the 4 main buildings, the donut and the space elevator stand and space elevator itself, all create the Tetra complex, or just Tetra. I also want to take this moment just to highlight one more quick comment, and that is something that I forgot about completely. During the updates of Satisfactory Plus from Update 7 to Update 8, and going into the future of it, they've actually deprecated gas burners and replaced everything that is done in there to be used with something called a solution burner. And this commenter says here that burning hydrogen in the solution burner does produce heat and water, and so I don't need to take the extra steps for oxyhydrogen, which is perfect. So thank you again. I had completely forgotten about it. I really, really appreciate you. I really, really appreciate you reminding me of this. Thanks again. Okay, now that we've done that, we actually have cobalt plates, I'm pretty sure. Let's check. Yes, cobalt plates come from cobalt ingots, which comes from molten cobalt, which comes from purified cobalt and oxygen and methane. That sounds pretty familiar, right? Oxygen, methane. So this is full of oxygen. This has a good bit of methane in it. Why isn't this running? Because we're not using up the oxygen. And we're not using up the oxygen because we're not using up sulfurous gas. And we're not using the sulfuric acid because we're not using hydrochloric acid. Because we have so much crushed cobalt. Because we're full of purified cobalt. I love it. That's exactly that's the best resulting problem we could possibly have had. So let's maintain the insanity just a little while longer. To make molten cobalt, we need a flexible blast furnace. So let's make one of those. Okay. The insanity will be done soon, I promise. We are on the cusp of solving all of this. Random belts everywhere, pipes everywhere. Oxygen and methane. Easy peasy. Let's put down a pipe. Alright, just added a quick inventory rule. Apparently copper pipes were already in the Faxit system, which makes that super cool and easy. But yeah, I didn't actually say what we're doing, but if it wasn't clear, we are hooking up the Cobalt to start a trickle of Cobalt plate production so we can get the Phase 3 completed. So that's all we're going to do right now. Just sort of clip this through pretty awfully. And we don't care because we're going to fix it. But right now we're going to start a trickle because the next step, which is going to be... Okay, I can tell you right now. The next step is going to be to fix up the other 3 branches of Tetra, which means we need to take the outer curve back 8, then 16, and then back in 2 for a total of 14 meter extension out the back. And then what, an 8 or a 16 meter extension out the front. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to get into a time lapse in just a second after I'm done setting this up. Perfect. Now we need to take that and we need to put it in the solidifier and cooler with some water. Is that okay? That is making 30 per minute. So let's take a solidifier and cooler. I'm not sure which one the Cobalt's gonna be, but it is that one. I just want to put another fluid buffer down. Really can't be fussed with this. For the slag. Perfect. And then let's upgrade the pole so we can connect to it. Cobalt ingot, and we need to supply some water and output some steam. So to do water, we'll take the storage network Faxit fluid sender. This needs to be connected to the network. We need to select water, which is this one. And as long as this doesn't drop down to 0 immediately, which it does not, which means we have enough water coming into the network as we do coming out, which is perfect. Excellent. Let's see what's next. Probably a constructor, I assume. Yes, a constructor. 45 per minute. And how much are we making? Ooh, we're making 120 per minute. So we'll need 3 constructors. Let's just put them over here, maybe. For some reason, my game is lagging. It's frustrating me. Okay, let's take some constructors, and we'll just put down 1, 2, 3 right there. We'll need a splitter. We need our cobalt ingots. Look at that, our first cobalt ingots. Okay, and now we've got some steam to get rid of, which is in the power. We need a cooling platform. A steam cooling tower like so, and then output the steam. And we're done. I think. We will double check. It would be just like me to walk away without actually checking. No, that's doing it. Getting rid of the steam. Oh, but we actually have to turn these on. So let's power them up, and then we need to select Cobalt. And I need to restart my game because I'm getting some awful stuttering. If you can see and it's bothering you, I apologize. It's driving me batty. All right, copy, paste, boom. I love it. Okay, brilliant. Now let's grab a merger. And we're going to stockpile cobalt plates. And I love it. Seriously, this is awesome. And I love it. We're going to get almost 90 per minute. Getting really excited to clean all this up. But, okay, so as I said, we're going to extend all the rest of the buildings so we have them all the same, and then we're going to do the trains. And we're not going to do it curving up like I showed last episode or the episode before that. I did not end up liking that. I want them to come in up at this level, mostly because trying to have them come out of that first one we did, there's too many rocks and mountains in the way. And then let's see, the far one over on that side, the far of the 4 buildings, has almost no room underneath it. And so just to keep things kind of uniform, I'm going to bring the trains up at this level here. And I'm going to probably do that on the one we have out here. I'm going to go up the coast, up past the oil, and I'm going to grade it really... I'm going to have the incline be pretty shallow so the trains can get up really easily. So I'll have them arc down that direction, arc down that direction, and then I think out the northish one, we're going to go straight out into the red forest and bamboo fields. That is the plan. Let's do it. Well, there, that feels amazing to have done. Since I finished, I ran over and checked the slugs for any mutations, and we have none. But check it out. I ran over here to check our cobalt progress out, and I had to put a whole other storage container in. And we have almost another one. And why has this stopped? Oh, you know what? We aren't... Yeah, we're not dealing with the byproducts. We probably just backed up. No. Very close, but no. Why? Oh, it was that. Cool. So we were able to get 2 full small storage containers completely full of cobalt plates in the time that this filled up with slag. How cool is that? And we got all of the shells done. We got the footprints of the bases of the 4 buildings of Tetra complete. Yeah, I'm going to refer to them as the 4 buildings. You could arguably say that's a building and then that's a building, but yeah, just for ease, I'm going to call them the 4 buildings of Tetra. I'm still considering names. Nothing's set in stone yet, but it's exciting. The next thing we have to do, though, is figure out how we're going to get trains into Tetra and then move the trains between the buildings of Tetra. So, to make the floor, I could basically just run lines like... You know, I could just run it like this, and then the next one would be here, and then we'd have a gap, and then we'd try to fill the gap. Another option would be what I said episodes ago when we first started building Tetra. If you haven't seen that, my initial idea was illustrated by that foundation right there, and I basically just thought we could run a flat but even shape, kind of like that. And so it's not going to cover everything, but it'll cover a lot of the stuff. Let me rephrase that. Say this edge right here, I start building out straight all the way. I could go all the way to there, and I could go all the way to here, and it would just be all foundations pointing in the same direction. And then we're going to have weird overlaps, but just between here and here, between there and there, and then the edges along that side there. The other option we could do is not form the levels. So this level here, say we had a whole floor on it, not form that as like one big factory or one big room even. We could have it broken up into a lot of different rooms, and then each room, like say just between this foundation line here and this one, like just inside here is one factory. So we could just, run the floor here in the same direction, so we could put the machines down without having to deal with tons of foundation overlap. And then over here could be a different one where we go that way or something like that. That seems easier, right? Let's build the factory and the floors where we want them when we know where we want them. That seems like the best ability, and that kind of ties into the build everything everywhere all at once. That is to say, instead of just building a big blank canvas, we're going to customly design the floor, the walls, the walkways, the staircases in the factory, because everything that we build here inside Tetra is going to be my best attempt at something that's kind of pretty and permanent, something that we're not going to tear down ever. Sure, we might have to move something, or we might change our minds, but this is not being built like the rest of everything. Like all that down there and down there, everything was always built up in the mindset of this is a temporary fix. Well, we're done with temporary, baby. We're moving into the end game, and everything is going to be permanent. I'm sorry I called you baby. Yeah, okay, so that settles that. That settles how we're going to design the floor, and that is to say we're going to do it piecemeal and creatively and customized how we want it. This first floor is going to be the first level of the train system. I'm kind of thinking about it in my mind as like just the base subway layer of the whole factory. So what we'll do is we're going to have trains come up from down there, and we're going to use the 2x2 let's see, foundations. We're going to use the double ramp 2 meters, right? So look at to get a feel for the size of this, just look at it. It's going to go all that way, and then I'll probably curve to follow this. So this, even though we did it and it was cool, this needs to be replaced now because I've changed my mind. So all of this, I'm going to pull out. I'm not going to show it, but just so you know, I'm going to delete all of that, and we're going to replace it with this ramp. But that's not what we're doing right now. Right now, I'm just telling you the plan. So the ramp's going to go down there. The trains are going to come up onto this level, and then they're going to go this way, that way, and the other. We can use this whole level just for train integration into the complex. So what we need to do next, and what we're going to do right now, is figure out how we want to curve them, the paths, building to building. I want them not to just be a straight shot, because I could just say, take this foundation here, kind of point it, and just build a straight line to it. I want it to kind of follow these curves, kind of like the inside and the outside. So what we're going to do is come back to the center, and kind of how we built the spokes out. So we did it like this, and then we're going to hit right into there. What we can do is build the spokes out this way. 50 sounds good. And then this way, 50 was good. And then, yeah, we can't build anymore because the colored ones hit our current build. But we're going to be able to use these spokes now, these 2 new ones between each building, to connect the inside of, so right there where my crosshair is, say in the middle there, and we'll have the same general curving shape into there. So if you think about, basically we're going to turn the 4 Tetra buildings, sort of create a full circle in the center here for train tracks. But again, it's not going to be one building, it's going to be one level, like from here to whoosh, over, like whoosh, just like whoosh, like that. And then the trains will go zoop, woo, drive from there, and then go either direction, and then they can go up through the factory as well. We can fit a ton of train stations here if we just want to bring in the products and ship them up with trucks or belts even. Probably trucks. I suspect we're going to have a lot of space in this factory. So, okay, again, whoosh, imagine train comes in. Which one is this one right here? It's going to go from up the coast. It's going to come up into this factory here, and then it's going to go around that way, and it can go that way, and it can go all the way around the circle, and then back down and out. So we'll have intersections around interchanges, lots of not signs, rail signals. And then we'll be able to do that. So say that the train will come up here, it'll go into here, it'll stop, it'll unload all of the coal, and then a truck will take it, and the truck will drive this way, and then go up a ramp up into this floor. So the second floor, third floor, 10th floor, whatever it is. In this building, drop off the coal. Another train will come in from that direction, drop off the iron, and we'll make steel. Or, you know, that's the whole plan. We're going to have it. I want this to just feel I want to sit right here, or hover here in my little hover pack, and I just want to see dozens and dozens and dozens of trains going across this little bridge that we're going to be building from here, back and forth, up and down, and just bringing all the resources from the entire planet into Tetra. That's enough rambling. Let's get to building. And I suspect... How far do we want to go before we curve? And do I want to try to find the middle? I don't think I want to try to find the center necessarily. I think actually maybe just going along kind of the back road would be cool. So this is literally the first time thinking about this, so please bear with me if I have to make a lot of amendments. Let's give us some hover pack accessibility. And let's just play, right? Let's just mess around. So what if we do 3 that way? And, oh dear, I should probably know exactly how far it is. So it's probably there. Or then it's probably 2 meters closer, right? So like this, and then 1, 2. Now maybe that's right for the curve. It does seem kind of almost right. If this doesn't make sense, what I'm saying, I will explain in just a second. Let me turn off zooping though. Yeah, so thinking about this arc right here, if it was just to continue and meet up with there, I'm just looking at where that would fall right here. Yeah, I suspect this line would run right to here, which is going to run right to here and run right to there. So, yeah, okay. So two back from that even. Yeah, 1, 2. So that would put us right here. Right there. Let's do 3. I probably want this to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feeling 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here, you know what we could do? See if we can fly over there. Yeah. So remember this gap right here? This was the problem that we had and that we fixed, right? Because it comes and we turn. How did we turn? So we went out 1 straight, 1 straight, and then connected them. So let's, again, I'm sorry, I don't have the language vocabulary built into my mind enough to to explain exactly what I'm thinking. So I apologize for saying this one and that one. If you're listening and not watching, it's not going to make a lot of sense. Hopefully, as I'm talking while I'm doing it, you'll be able to follow along. So apologies for that. Maybe I'll try to get better at that, but I'm not sure. So 1 out from there equals 1 out from there. And then we need our beam, so let's pull the beam up. We're still in freeform, so that's good. now from this one, we can put it in and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's not where we want it. This one's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and now we have this gap, which is what I'm after, because now we can go start zoop on. Go from that, move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Is that right? It's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Hold on, let's take this. What I'm trying to do is zoop out the middle between here in a whole other. In a whole. Okay, you know what I did? I was thinking about splitting the difference, but what I should do is put it right here where we already know that it's right. So again, just watch. Look, we're gonna fix that right there. Now we're gonna put this beam across here. Okay, now the beam is going to let us put in the 2 foundations here, which are going to fit perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Default, default. There. It meets exactly at that corner there. It meets exactly at that corner here. And it's straight right here, which means we want to go just out from 1, 2, 3, 4. There. See how it's perfectly lined up? Now what I can do is zoop. Why isn't that zooping? I think I suspected I messed it up. So now, oh yeah, click, and then we can go straight out. And now we have a perfectly centered portion. So we can get a more gradual curve doing the same technique we just did, and the same technique we've been using to extend these, but to put it right here. Okay, so we could probably delete that one. And then we're gonna go one on that side, one on that side. And now we're going to have a more gradual curve when we go and use the beam, like this. Except I hovered and missed. Take this part out in post. Just kidding. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm not sure on the spacing, so we'll come in from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be a nice, easy angle. Let's see what we think of it. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now we need to do the same thing on this side. So we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. Hold on a minute, folks. He's confused himself. No, we're good. It's these 7 right here, right? 5, 6, 7. So this is the bridge across. I don't really want it made out of this material, but I'll fix it later. Yeah, so we'll just continue building it like this, and then we'll fill it in. I've shown you how I'm going to do it now, so now I can go and we'll do a time lapse. Well, there, everything is going so well. I am so happy. Just absolutely thrilled. But we are running out of time. So the final thing we're going to be able to do today, we're not going to get the trains down. We're going to do that next episode. But I want to kind of outline the shell just a little bit. So the last thing we're going to do is grab 4-meter foundations, turn vertical on, and just kind of raise these up. Let's do 100. Can I do it? Let's see if I can get exactly 100. Okay, let's get to about 100. I don't want to spend forever doing this. There. Let's just do that in the 4 corners of the 4 buildings. Do we want to time lapse it? We don't need another time lapse. It would be quick anyway. Let me just show you let me just do 2, 3, and then I'll just show you the final product. It's not that interesting, but I hope it looks cool. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I really appreciate you watching. I really appreciate all the support. Please hit the like button. Please leave me a comment. I love hearing from each and every one of you. And please, 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 if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. I have a ridiculous goal to go from just over 2,000 subscribers that I have right now to over 10,000 this calendar year. It's ambitious, but I think we could do it. So see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye now.
Bad Plays Games.
Bad Plays Games.
Bad Plays Games.
Bad Plays Games.
Bad Plays Games. Bad